All right, everyone, how are you? Welcome to this week's episode of our podcast. It's called Is Breakfast Included? Thanks for stopping by. On the show this week, we talk with Rico Gonzalez, Jakey Black, Avery Castro, and Adam Carrillo, collectively known as Kin Faux. Have you heard about them? Well, you will. This band is about to blow up. They're taking over the Texas scene. Pretty soon, they're going to be taking over the national scene. They stopped by today to talk to me a little bit. We basically got to know each other. They told us about the background, how they got the band started, how they put together the current lineup that's been just tearing up stages all over Texas, and what they got in store for you for 2025. It was a lot of fun getting to know these guys. They told some great stories and they laughed a lot. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Let's check it out. Tell everyone who you guys are, one at a time.
All right, I'll start. I'll just say my name's Rico. I play fiddle and sing in the band Kin Faux.
I'm Jake. I play guitar and sing in Kin Faux.
I'm Avery. I play drums. I'm their personal chef in Kin Faux.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm Adam. I'm the band's Hispanic Titanic and Protector.
There you go. Adam, your picture is the biggest one on my phone. I love it.
Oh, I got stretch marks.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing this. I reached out a while back. I know we tried, but and then I heard you guys got a little ill after Florida.
Bro, it was bad because of Adam.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, we went to Mile Zero Fest in Key West, and it's a great time, and it was a lot of work. And I gotta say, like, in my, I guess, 8 years with Kin Faux doing this, like, that was probably one of the hardest tours, just because it was set up and tear down twice a day, and the weather was, believe it or not, in a tropical place, super cold with lots of people, so we ended up catching some stuff down there. But yeah, so I appreciate the patience, man, of really letting us come back.
Oh no, man! I've been wanting to talk to you guys. It's like what the name Kin Faux? Tell me about that.
Oh, Jake, you can throw that one on, man.
That's all you, buddy. Go ahead.
Avery, go ahead. I'm just kidding. No.
What happened was
what happened.
Kidding.
So actually, a lot of people know that we formed this band actually in Michigan. Jake was playing in a different band, like an outlaw band at the time. I was playing like in a top 40 country band with a drummer, and original bass player played with Jake too. And so basically, the long story short is that I was born and raised in Texas, and I love the music here kind of, and the drummer and I, Dan Courier, we came down to Texas, and he was like, man, what is this cool stuff? Like, what's this culture down here and of different country music? And basically, you're like, let's try to take it up north. Let's do it up north. And he's like, I have the perfect guitar player. I know like who to get. And that was Jake. And so we formed Kin Faux up in like Flint area of Michigan, which is kind of crazy, and kind of started growing in the Midwest. We traveled to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We went all the way to we did Ohio. We did just some Midwest stuff, and grew right around the time that Cody Jinks and Whitey Morgan were kind of getting big, and so that kind of helped having kind of a different style country there. And we did like 4 different tours down to Texas to come visit family and play a few shows down here, and then we got to move here. So now it's been Jakey, like 5 years?
6 years. 6 years.
6 years. We've been living here. All the boys moved into the same house. Sacrificed a bunch, their wives and everything moved to the same band house kind of thing. And we grinded for a long time, and then people retired, people moved on, and now I think we have, and I'll say proudly, that one of the best renditions of Kin Faux ever with Avery and Adam. And the brotherhood's there, and the vibes are amazing, and on stage it's fire. So that's the Reader's Digest version, man.
All right, man. Let me ask you something. You guys, you took this style of music that you're doing up to Michigan, and as somebody who sees a lot of the country, like what they do in Texas is different, man. And I live here in New Jersey, but I could go see a country artist out of here, and it's, you're like, Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that movie. But
I've seen that movie.
but when cats like, Jack Ingram or Pat Green or Josh Abbott, they come up here and play, they sell out Terminal 5. They sell out all these venues because people want that authenticity, man. What do you think it is about that Texas thing, man, that that's different from everywhere else?
Well, I think you said it yourself, sir, that it's authentic, it's real, it's organic, it's accessible. When we started this, we were all in different bands, and we're like, well, let's see what happens. I mean, Texas country and Michigan. I mean, what is the likelihood of this taking off?
Yeah.
People loved it. They responded to it, and at that point, I mean, we're, during like the first, the first couple of phases of a band, you find the people, you create a set list, learn the music, and at one point we were doing like 13 Kevin Fowler songs, so people loved it. They responded to it, and but as you mentioned, sir, I mean, it's there's no pretension, I mean, certainly not to say that what's available otherwise isn't great, because it's great, but there's a certain accessibility, as you mentioned.
Yeah. And you were doing covers at first. When did you start writing your original material as a band?
Honestly, brother, we got hooked up. We've been blessed since the beginning to kind of have some outlets with some incredible songwriters, like guys that have written #1 hits for legendary acts. Man, Bernie Nelson was our kind of our connection to Texas in a sense, because he started doing a lot of Texas stuff. And Bernie, he wrote #1 for Confederate Railroad back in the day, and he knew a lot of people in the business to get us hooked up with. And then we went one day to see him play Green Hall with the songwriter guy named David Lee, who, if you don't know who David Lee is, he wrote all of Cody Johnson's #1s in Texas, and he has over 12 #1s with different artists, from Chris Stapleton to Tim McGraw. I mean, and just to be in the presence of those guys, and learning from them to start writing, and even to going through their catalogs is what we like to do, of songs they've written already that would fit us. And to the point of, like, one day, just this quick story, we gave away a shirt to a guy that we opened up for, a merch Kin Faux shirt, and he wore it to, I guess, the gym or somewhere in Nashville, and it got the attention of the president of the CMAs, Jim Beavers, who's him and his brother Brett are well-known names in the country music scene. And I mean, incredible. I mean, they just pour out hits. It's insane. So we've had those guys be able to help us out since the beginning, and learning a lot from them on writing and stuff, and just using a lot of their songs and putting our Kin Faux stamp on it is how we've been doing things, man.
How does that work, man? When there's a well-known songwriter, like, do you just record their song? Do you have to kind of get their blessing, or once you record it, does it ever go by them and they go, nah, that's really not what I was aiming for?
$1 million.
You pay? Do you pay to?
No. I think probably at some level there probably is some involvement, but I mean ours, and we're essentially just I mean, still grassroots. I mean, we're doing this. It's all self-funded, so
yeah.
But no, they I mean, typically when songwriters write a song, I'm as a songwriter, not necessarily an artist, they want people to to record their music. That's how they generate any kind of income. But with going back to what Rico was saying about Jim Beavers, subtextually, if anybody ever tells you that merch doesn't matter, they are completely wrong. I mean, the merch is so important. I mean, this merch is so important.
Yeah.
And I mean, just giving a fellow artist a shirt, and and then you attract the attention. Completely cold. You attract the attention of somebody like Jim Beavers. He was like, who? what is a kin faux? And he looked it up, and he contacted Rico Cold, and he's like, you have no idea who I am, but here's if you want to know, Wikipedia me, and we did, and
give me a call. Yeah,
give me a call, and then that's how that happened. I mean, honestly, a shirt. It's incredible. But yeah, they open up their catalog, so we can pick and choose the songs that they make available to us.
Yeah.
And we co-write. We've done a number of co-writes with Mr. Beavers as well as Bernie and David. So they've been kind enough to open up their catalog, and it's we find songs that kind of fit us, that kind of touch us, that move us. And we co-write stuff, and so I mean it's kind of across the board. I mean, a good song is a good song, regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you write it or if somebody else writes it. I mean, a great song is a great song.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I noticed about you guys is I just started hearing it. It almost like popped up. When you start hearing the name a lot from social media to it being put on your thread, because really social media is where it's at now, right? I mean, we have to, but when you're just kind of scrolling through YouTube and a Kin Faux video comes up, you're like, what's this? And you click on it. It's you start to expect, okay, I'm going to see that name a lot. And in the last, I want to say I started hearing about you guys early 2024.
Up in New York or New Jersey, I mean? Sorry.
Just on social media, and like, but you're everywhere. I mean, you did Milo Fest, you did the NFR, you did Born and Raised. I mean, that's a big deal, for an indie band, a DIY project. I mean, how do you guys feel about how fast it's happening? But in your eyes, it didn't happen fast, right? It's not happening fast. But this last year happened pretty quick.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rico.
No, I just mean to comment on that. It's like, it's insane how you put it. It does seem fast for a lot of people, but a lot of people don't get to see the nitty gritty of the day to day, and
they didn't see everyone's wife living in the band house, right?
the hard conversations you have with your drummer and bass player. I'm just kidding.
There he goes.
They're all quiet over there. I know. I'm just like waiting for them to say something.
We're gonna get to these two guys in just a second.
Room to say something.
It's to be honest, man, it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun and we feel really humbled that people have taken our music to actually kind of grow this thing pretty fast. And to be honest, we're not even close to where we want to be. We're thankful for where we're at.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much more. Until we're on that Red Rock stage and there's like 18,000 people in the stands, then I'm gonna be like, okay, we're almost there.
Yeah. No, hey man, that's a good goal to have. And I've noticed, because once I started hearing about you guys, I started following you guys, and then coincidentally, one of my oldest friends in the world starts playing bass for you. Yeah. It's crazy, but what I've noticed is you guys are hustling, man. You're grinding. You are out there, because a lot of cats want to do this work, but they don't want to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Everybody likes being that big fish in a small pond, and I love the fact that you guys are putting yourself out there. Like, hey, man, give me what you got. Let's do it. We want to win some. We'll play to 2 people. Next time we'll play to 4. Next time we'll play to 8. Next time,
Old school, baby.
That's the mentality that I see in you guys. Is that kind of where you're coming from?
Yes, sir. Honestly, I mean, we are so grateful for any and every opportunity. Truly, I mean, we recognize that what we do is completely predicated on people showing up and supporting, and we don't take a moment of that for granted. I mean, everyone. I try to make a point. When I'm not passing out, I'm to go out in the audience before the show and shake hands and thank them, and honestly thank them. Because we recognize that we can't do this without them. And but to your point earlier, yeah, I mean, last year was a very, very challenging year for our camp. A lot of change, and honestly, and I'm not a boastful man, but I think that we have the best rhythm section on planet Earth. And I'm super excited about the band's lineup as it is right now, and it's it's positive. It's moving forward. It's a good group of guys. It's healthy. And it's I mean, it's difficult finding the right people at the right time. Yeah, to do to focus on a singular goal.
Yeah.
But I think we have a great camp right now.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about these two guys, Avery and Adam. Jakey and Rico, you're the you guys are the original members. Been with since day one. How did you cross paths with these guys?
Well, Avery, I mean, he's been around in San Antonio for a while, and he's probably the best drummer in South Texas area, Central Texas, and just so happened to be hanging out in San Antonio. And he was part of an amazing band. He played in a lot of bands. Why am I talking for you, Avery? Where are you from?
I don't know.
Do you do?
You just started talking. I was like, okay.
How do we meet?
We didn't know Avery was a ventriloquist, by the way.
Yeah, so I played in San Antonio with a bunch of different other bands. Did the whole hired gun scene. Played with pretty much, you come to San Antonio and you listen to any country band in their bar, I probably played with them. And just kind of made a name for myself as an independent musician. And played with an artist in the Houston Cook-Off.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, oh, Kin Faux's playing a few tents down. Let's go check them out. Went over there, saw Rico. And he's like, hey, we got to talk. I was like, yes, whatever. Well, whatever it is, yes, let's do it. Yes. He's like, okay, cool. So I got his number and didn't hear from him for like 6 weeks. I was like, all right. Well, hey, cool. And then we opened up for the band that I was with. They're called Texas Double Shot. We had made a name for ourselves in San Antonio. And then we opened up for them at the Carnival Festival. And yeah, that's it. They saw me playing. They're like, yeah, that guy.
All right.
That's basically, man, what it was. It was our drummer Dan at the time, was the guy that we started this, with. It was time for him to retire, and he knew that. He'd been in the music scene. What do you think, Jake? He said over 40 years or something like that.
Well, 40 years, yeah, 40 something.
Yeah. So he was ready to spend time with his pops in Florida and retire, and he earned it, and so he actually was part of the vetting process of, in the sense of Avery was somebody that he recommended to keep an eye on. So that's how Avery kind of jumped in, and then honestly, brother, same thing. Our bass player at the time was moving on and playing with some other people, and so we ended up. I was sitting at the table one day because we're like, man, we got to find somebody that's going to jump on the road with us and go full time, and me and my girlfriend Emily, who's a fiddle player, she plays around the circuit too here in Texas. We're looking, and she goes, well, how about this guy? And I guess this guy popped up on her people, or like Facebook or whatever. And I looked at him and I was like, immediately, I was just like, yes.
It looks exactly like us.
Yes. Beard, he looks Samoan, the tats, like this guy, big smile, like this guy has to, I just hope he's cool. I hope he's not like a total like diva or a total like jerk. Yeah. And so legitimately I sent a message that night and I was like, hey dude, this is so and so. Just don't know if you ever heard of this band called Kin Faux. I'm playing it, but wondering if you'd be interested in trying to see how it fits with bass or whatever. If you want to come try out or whatever, come play. And it was late too, I remember. And before that, I had gotten hold of Jake though. And I was like, Jake, what do you think of this guy? And he's like, yeah, give him a call, see what he looks like, see how he is. So it was late. I remember sending him a text off of Facebook, and Adam responded right away. I don't know what he was doing up so late.
Lord knows.
I don't know, man. I mean, what's your take on that? I mean, that's how kind of it was.
Well, yeah, y'all were on the search, man, and I mean, I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I came from the metal scene and everything like this, so I was at my wit's end. I was like, you know what? I think it's time I hang up, the bass strings. I was fine. I've gotten my fill. I got the message, and I always get requests like, hey, man, we should start a cover band, or we should do this from people I don't even know. And I saw the message. I was going to go to bed. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll answer tomorrow. And then something just shot me up, and I was like, you need to call this guy. Get a hold of him. And then you told me Kin Faux. I was like, I know. Same thing. I've been hearing Kin Faux everywhere. Just a seed planted. And we talked, and it was just it was a good vibe, a good feeling, just in conversation, a good hang.
Yeah.
And man, you talk about maybe divine. I bought all this equipment and stuff like this. I was gonna, give it one big push, and I just couldn't get a gig to help me. I hustled. I got the great equipment and stuff. The image, those photos that you saw were free. Like some guys, like, hey man, I want to build my portfolio.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and he goes, would you want to bring your bass and do some photo shoots around town? I won't charge you anything. It's just to build up my credibility or whatnot. And I was like, okay, cool.
Very
And that's
cool.
what caught your eye. And it was once I went to the audition, man, it got real. It was a great production, great team. It was scary, man, because like this is crap got real. Like you're really gonna throw and go. So I was like, it was in my heart. I'm gonna do this.
So I've known Adam. I've known him almost 30 years now. He's been like a brother to me. I'm gonna ask him a question and you don't have to say be nice because they're here. It's okay, man. All right? When you walked into that, man, what was different about them than all the other acts you've been playing with?
Everybody had a role. Everybody served a purpose, and not only that, but what spoke loudly, there were when you have something good and it comes from a good place and you're resonating just great things. People want. I just noticed that people just want to serve. People want to help. People want to make this thing the best that it can be because they see the same vision too. And it gave me the chills. It reminded me of the old school Pantera days, like Pantera home videos. Everybody just wants to be a part of it.
Yeah,
and that's what this is. People from our people who do our hair, they do it out of love and because they love us. They don't want anything in return. For people that drive for us, or people that are just our unofficial, security and stuff like that. And I love being the underdog. So we go to venues and sometimes people don't know what to expect. You're like, is this like a Mexican hip hop group or whatever? And then we do our thing. And what speaks volumes is that we genuinely care about these fans and we genuinely have a love for what we're doing.
yeah.
And it translates and the love gets reciprocated. And we have people driving. One of the first shows that I played with Kin Faux was at Choctaw, which we just played. And people were driving from Midland, driving from everywhere. And were literally crying when they saw, like no exaggeration, when they saw our lineup at my first show. This woman came up. What was her name? I forgot.
Edna.
Yvonne.
Edna.
Oh, it's Yvonne.
Yeah, she came up and gave me a hug, and she's like, and it felt like my tia. She's like, mijo, I didn't understand it at first. Like the bass player, we loved him, but when we saw you on stage, we got it. We get it, and that comes from the metal days and the stage show and the stage presence and learning how to love on people, and now it just translates, and it's creating this huge momentum that it's just barely even getting started.
Yeah. And you guys are happy with this lineup?
Man, I haven't been more happy. Everyone's the top of their game and focused and I'm super stoked.
Yeah, your material, man, to me, and I don't know anything, but this is just what I hear. I hear a kind of a little bit of that 90s country with the Texas, but you're putting your own spin on it. And I think that spin, and like I said, this is just my opinion, that I think that spin comes from your culture. Is that, am I hitting that, or is that right? Or am I just wanting to believe that. You know?
Anybody want to say anything? I think honestly, I think you're right, sir. I think that when we established this and we started recording, a lot of our influences was, absolutely 90s country, late 80s country. But as lineups change and new people come in with new influences and new sources of inspiration, things are going to evolve, and I'm super stoked with the direction that we're going. Aside of having a country background, I have a metal background. Avery and Adam both have metal backgrounds, and up until recently, them coming in, that part of our psyche, that part of our being, it wasn't as celebrated nor really even allowed in this forum.
Yeah.
So we're beginning to introduce more aggressive, heavier elements into what we're doing. It's still country, it's still fiddle based, but we're adding some kind of ancillary kind of things, which I'm super excited about, because I mean honestly, at the end of the day, music is music. It really shouldn't be defined by genre or whatnot, but I think that these two guys, Avery and Adam, them coming in, they've really give us an adrenaline shot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Does everyone make each other step it up?
Yeah. Well, we started playing with Avery and Adam. I'm like, man, you're bringing up a lot of things that I've spent a lot of time trying just to shove down.
And we're just here like, but why?
And then we're like, yeah, I have a new guitar with the whammy bar, which is dangerous. Super dangerous.
Balls, baby.
Jake used to take his whammy bars off the guitars and hide them.
Hide them and block the trim, because dive bombs don't belong everywhere.
Yeah.
But I put them everywhere.
Every now and then you got to, right?
I'll tell you what, man, I've jumped off of more stages in this band than I've ever been in my whole life. 300 pounds of sexiness jumping off the stage.
I get a lot of like, but you're in a country band. Yeah. So why do you have a double kick pedal? Don't worry about it.
It's fun. It's fun.
Don't worry about it.
Why don't you have a double kick pedal?
Exactly. Why don't you? Our sound is definitely like, I think it's just like you said, man, in the culture of stuff, like it's very if you were to know everybody personally kind of in the band, and you could be like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense why the style is this and this and that. Me personally, I grew up playing mariachi and classical music, man. Didn't listen to rock, didn't listen to metal. It was go to the quinceañera on the weekends with the reggaeton. It was mariachis. It was, and then go to church, man, and listen to K-Love here, the '90s Christian music. I had an Incubus CD, and I'm actually staring right now at the basketball court when I was a kid. It's like right here outside. I would my dad, before he would get home, I would have like maybe an hour or two after school, and I would blast Incubus in my little boombox. And I thought I was hard, bro. I thought I was hard.
Now I have another question. Do you saying that right now? Do you think, man, all those hours I wasted with Incubus, I could have been listening to something better?
Now, dude, now it's like, Avery we were driving back. He gave me a whole schooling on this.
I showed him Cypress Hill, and he's like, I like this band. And I was like, oh, okay.
Bernie, let me ask you this. Gary Moore, Lead Clones. Jakey showed me that, and I cannot get that out of my head, bro. Oh, thank you, Jakey.
Gary Moore, dude. One of the most underrated. guitar
Absolutely.
player.
Love Gary
Yeah,
Moore.
yeah.
So yeah, man, if you listen to everybody's styles, it's unique. You know, I'm not a fiddle player. I'll be straight up. If you listen to my style, it's not from a fiddle bass. It's from a classical mariachi kind of. I don't know how to even put it. Jakey puts it eloquently, but like it's a different phrasing. You know, I don't have the ear of a fiddle player. Now my girlfriend Emily Jean, she can fiddle all day. She was bluegrass 4-time state champion, whatever. Me, you know, I had to learn how to saw. You know, I had to learn how to make it look hard and make it learn how. I mean, if you think about it, that's a little secret. The Devil Went Down Georgia. If you're gonna play in Texas, mountain music, all these fiddle like crazy songs. I mean, it's just like basically you just put a monkey in a cage and put a banana outside the cage and it just goes crazy, you know? It's just like, that's all it is.
So you're telling me your girlfriend's like proper English and you play slang?
Dude, man, I'm Spanglish all the way.
Spanglish. That was my next question, man. About you. I mean, I've watched you play. You got some big hands. How are you doing this, man? Like that's the
Kielbasa's, baby.
universal of fiddle playing.
Oh man, I don't know, dude. You know what's funny? We pulled into a truck stop on the way home, and we were at the Loves, I think, or one of the truck stops. And I went to a urinal. And I put my hand up on the wall. You know, you lean on the wall, and I was looking at my fingers on my left hand. I was like, man, like you said, I was like, how these little short, stubby little like sausages? How do they move? And I started like doing fingerings with my hand, like you know, this is like this, like you know, just doing little things. And I'm just staring at my hand while I'm doing it, my thing
Like-
in the urinal. And I'm like, wait. And then this guy looking at me behind me, he's like, what's this guy doing? I'm just like, dude, yeah, I don't know, bro. That's just what I do, bro.
Right on. So yeah,
You
you
need those,
guys just released your version of Devil Went Down to Georgia. It's actually pretty cool, man. You put some cool effects on your fiddle. And
Yeah, it's all Jakey right there. He had an idea. You know, we wanted to get into the studio and do this song for a long time. We just never had the right situation. And then when Avery and Adam came in, they opened up a whole Pandora's box of making it our own. And then they encouraged Jakey to even get heavier. And, you know, it was just a lot of fun. It was the first time we had
Put a
fun in the
7-string
studio.
guitar in there.
oh, really?
it was
Standard drop A tuning. Nothing crazy.
it was an awkward conversation. They're like, Jake, get heavier. Okay.
Exactly.
Felt like it needs to be even lower.
So, how does it feel being in a country band where you can ask the guy, hey, can you do this? They're like, yeah, I'll do it. You know, I'm not saying that because country players are some of the best players on this planet, but you don't always get the guys who are open to doing anything. You know.
Well, I mean, it's funny you bring that up. I just did a single with a buddy of mine a few months ago. We launched it and we went into the studio, and it was a different experience for me because I'm used to going in the studio with my brothers, right? We know each other. We know how to, everybody vibes. Everybody has their parts. But this was the first time I ever went to the studio with quote unquote hired guns, you know, where you go and you give them a chart and they kind of do their thing right there, you know?
Yeah.
And it was very telling, and I felt very appreciative to having the brothers we do in Kin Faux, because it's like, I don't know if it's just because I become akin to like their styles, and I just love it, that I went into this studio session expecting that, and it's like telling the guitar player, "Hey man, can you get crazier with the solo?" Like, you know, just because I'm used to having Jake's fire fingers go, you know, like, or hey, can you get heavier with the set, like with the bass? Can you make it sound cooler? Like, I don't know how to put it, like, you know, so like. I feel like, to answer your question, it's amazing, dude, to have musicians in the studio that go in there. I mean, the single we're about to launch in the summer, Avery played like 800 million different kinds of percussion instruments on it just because he can, you know?
Yeah.
It's that kind of vibe in there, dude. And it was the very first time, like with Devil Went Down to Georgia, getting that kind of permission to do that and launch that. And it was refreshing because it kind of brought us together. I don't know what you boys think, but it brought us closer together in a sense that we got to sit in the studio and experiment. We sat down and they're like, Jakey's like, well, can we just put this thing through the guitar pedal? And he had been thinking about that for days already in pre-production. And we literally tried it and sat down right there, and he's on his hands and knees flapping the wall pedal.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Everyone's excited about it because when I emailed your management, Jen, she replied to me and said, "Yeah, they'd love to do it. You know, this is what we've done. We recorded Devil Went Down to Georgia, and they used all these sorts of effects on because she goes, and you're gonna love it." So everyone's really excited about it, man. But the version is really cool, man. It's not your, everybody who's done that song, they focus on the fiddle part of it, but you could see each instrument is really taking liberty and saying, I'm going to make this song mine,
Yeah, no, and I certainly appreciate you recognize that. Yeah, I mean we've done that song, as a show closer for a number of years, and as Rico said, we always wanted to to have a recording of it, for the people who are interested, but we want to do something just a bit different. So I mean we took a lot of liberties with it, and we're pretty pleased with how it turned out.
Yeah, well, it's really cool. Again, the production on it's just top notch, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
What's it like having? I was talking to Avery before you guys jumped on, and I told him Adam and I used to live together years ago, and I told him the entire time we lived together, there wasn't a day that we didn't laugh from the minute we woke up to the minute we felt. And I don't drink, I don't smoke or anything, so this was just natural laughter, and to the point where. And I can say this because I don't think this person listens to this podcast. A friend of ours got hit by a car one time.
He laughing.
Came home and told us. And when they walked by, as they got out of sight, we just cracked up laughing. Like, who laughs at their friend getting run over by a car?
Wait. She had asphalt on her knees, man.
Huh?
She had asphalt on her knees and scratches. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, and they said, we're like, what happened? And they said, well, I got hit by a car. And once they got out of sight, we just looked at each other and just cracked up. And here it is, almost 20 years later, and we're still laughing at it.
So she literally just walked into the house and was like,
I got hit by a car.
She was running past. She went jogging. This car was backing up from a liquor store. And she got ran over. I think she held onto the bumper and just got drugged. So big baby. No, it's good. And she came in all bloody, her hair all messy. It was like Friends, man.
Yeah.
And she had like scrapes and asphalt and
yeah.
So
and yeah, look at Avery, eh? So yeah,
it's usually Avery and I that share.
Is it like that on road trips with this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Avery says he has a list of one-liners that he writes down.
Man.
Mac and cheese, spam and eggs.
Avery and Adam have this thing where they have to room together. I don't know why. They both use breathing machines to sleep. They probably hook them together like some weirdos or something.
Super CPAP.
Bernie got the version of Adam with no breathing machine, so I was like dying every night.
Oh man. I used to have to slap him sometimes, like, dude, wake up.
Stay a little bit longer.
Are they breaking in again, man?
Yeah. It was probably a great time in my life. Like I said, I don't think we ever stopped laughing. I know.
Adam brings a certain joy for sure, man. And I think he is what we needed more than just a bass player, but like, it is very true if you're listening. I mean, a band dynamic can make or break it. I don't care if you have all superstar prodigy people in the band, but if you guys don't jive, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
And Adam was that missing piece that we needed, man. And Adam, I'm gonna throw you under the bus real fast. we've no, it's cool. It's a beautiful part of the story, I think now. But like, we first met Adam. We walked into that rehearsal space. I was like, dude, we jived. We poor thing though, like we were just, because it was a new thing, we had some techs working on our stuff, our rig. So, and we were told it was gonna take maybe an hour to finish up our in-ears, to finish up all the boards and everything. So we got together And we got there and like, man, they started working on it. They're like, well, we need this, we need this. We're like, wait, let's run to Guitar Center real fast. We love doing that. So we all piled in the van. Adam's first time jumping in the tour van, and he jumped around the front seat. He sat back. Like, yeah, it's cool, and we drive, dude. We went to Guitar Center. We hung out. We think we even got, I don't remember if we got drinks or anything like that, like sodas or whatever. But we went back to the rehearsal of the club, and they still were working on the stuff, and it took hours, Bernie. And it was like, man, this Adam just drove in from Dallas. Like, we were supposed to have a rehearsal and audition to get him going. And finally they finished, but it was late, and the house there was like, hey guys, we're gonna close up. We're kind of been here all day. We're like, well, we gotta at least rehearse a little bit or run a few songs with Adam to try. And dude, it was like it jived. We ran some songs. I looked at Jake and I was like,
oh, dude, from the first note, it was like,
I was like, yeah, here we are, baby. We've arrived. I looked at Avery, and Avery was like, yeah. And and so we jived. The music was amazing. And then we're like, all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow for rehearsal. And we go to rehearsal. We're setting up. Time's looking. I was like, where's Adam? Adam was gone.
I went home, bro. It scared me, Bernie.
You went home, Bernie. You left.
Home, dude. So I'm like, because reality, man.
Tell him why, Adam. It's beautiful. It really is. Though. Tell him why.
Yeah. No, yeah. Because I prayed about it, man. And that's what I'm saying. Call it divine, Bernie. I'm a year and 5 months sober, man. And I've been partying forever. And this was just part of my healing journey, relying on prayer for everything. So this was a big moment in my life because I was ready to give music up. And this just resonated so much to me. And then I went to San Antonio, and that they kept apologizing for all the downtime. It was like 6 or 7 hours of downtime, running around and stuff. But to me, that was the best part because I got to really know these guys, and I knew I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make these dudes laugh.
And we needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think we literally played 2 songs, but it gave me the chills. Even thinking about it gives me the chills. And so they video recorded it, sent it to management, and then they loved it. I think she was crying too because
it was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then at the end of the night, okay, so this is what we got lined up. They talked, we were soon after that, we're going to Alaska, and I was like, holy crap, this is getting real. Like, everybody's used to people bull crapping you, but when you start getting emails on confirmations on flights and stuff like that, I was like, hey. And and so I got scared, because I was going to have to leave my daughter, my brother, everything that I have situated. I mean, just as well as I do, the hood, Fairview, all this stuff, it's a vacuum, man. It'll keep you here forever because it has. A lot of my uncles are still here. A lot of, it's safe. And I came back, and I told my daughter about it because she's a big light in my life. And she's like, Daddy, you have to do it. This is what you work for. You always talk about music. You live music. You love music. I love music because of you. And I got my brother's blessing, and went to Choctaw with Big Joe. You know Big Joe?
Yeah.
And played a show there, and I kept seeing Kin Faux coming soon, because they were going to be there the next week. And so I called Rico, man. I was like, hey, brother, it's in my heart, dude. If the position is still available, man, I would love to fill that position, man. It scared me. I needed solidification. I needed blessings from my foundation here in Ennis. And I got that, and now we're here.
Right on, man.
And
yeah, I wish you could have seen all of our faces that morning
when he was gone.
Yeah, we're just like, what happened?
I knew he was gonna hurt us. I knew it.
What happened?
No, but Bernie,
I feel so used.
That was and not to get sentimental, but that was like, okay, it's important to him enough that he knows this is a freaking lifestyle change.
Yeah.
It's not. He's taking it so seriously that he had to go home and figure shit out. And the thing is, like, I respect that. It'd be nice to get a call, but I respect that. When he called back and I talked to Jake about it, because and even Avery brought Avery on the conversation at the time. I was just like, dude, Adam called me back and like he wants to come, and a part of me when I heard that I was like, yes. But I was like, all right, we'll see. Let me talk to management. Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna see. I'll let you know. Make him sweat. You know, I was a little salty, but it's the best thing, bro. That I mean, Avery, when he joined, he was thrown into the fire too. You know, it was just like, hey, you're in, let's go. You know, this is how things are. This is a train that doesn't stop, man. And so now we're at a place where I look so forward to not only playing music, but I look forward to hanging out with my bros, man.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
Right on, man.
It's really a family, a kin. Even though it's fake, like faux, like we're not blood, we really feel like it.
Right on, man. That's great. That's great, dude. It makes me happy. Makes me happy that my dude, I don't know you guys. I just met you here, but he's surrounded by 3 guys that I know are going to take care of him. So,
oh hell yeah,
Amen, dude.
And he takes care of us, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've never felt so safe as when he swaddles me.
in the arms of someone like you do, Adam.
No, go ahead. I almost said that. That's for another time. But go ahead. Sorry, bro.
Brother, where can people find you guys online, and what do you have coming up?
Kinfaux.com. KINFAUX has all our tour dates, tickets. We're all over socials. If you have, Instagram, give us a follow. TikTok, give us a follow. Facebook, come join the family. There's an official Kin Faux fan page. You can join. We're all over, man. Spotify, Apple Music. To see where we're playing next, the best place is our website, though. Merch, if you like merch, if you like shirts, you like hats, koozies, we do fiddles, we do signature pink guitars for Jake, we do signature basses for Adam, we sell drumsticks that Avery signs, we go check out our merch store, kinfaux.com/merch. But so we got some big stuff coming up this year. We're doing, all the big festivals, of course. We just got back from Florida for Mile Zero Fest. And we can announce it formally here that we are doing a live at Billy Bob's recording in July 3rd, which is going to be huge.
Got to sell it out, man.
Yeah, we're playing Outlaws and Legends.
Okay, yeah.
March, yeah.
Right on, man. I'm happy for you guys.
3rd year. Yeah, honestly, every opportunity. I mean, we've definitely worked hard to garner any whatever success we have or whatever it looks like, and we certainly appreciate every opportunity. But yeah, these opportunities, man. I mean, we've they've been hard won, and we certainly appreciate the chance for sure.
Right on, man. Well, brothers, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this, working with the schedule and everything.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure to meet you guys, man.
Our pleasure, brother.
It was.
And,
you guys seem like
any friend of Adam's is a friend of ours, bro. So I mean, you got a place. If you're down here.
Absolutely,
right on, man. Mm-hmm. I was telling Avery, Chris Madrid's and
I was
Pete's
about to tell you
House.
right now. I'm gonna go get Chris Madrid's right now.
I haven't heard that in a long time. That sounds good.
Before I let you guys go, man, our podcast, it's called Is Breakfast Included? And one at a time, if we were having breakfast, what would you have? I'm going to start with Avery.
Oh, well, dude, I don't eat breakfast. Okay, but if we're eating, okay, it's breakfast time. I probably have lunch, so I probably have like some chicken fried rice with some bourbon chicken, with some beef and broccoli, and a side of 2 egg rolls and a large cherry Pepsi.
Damn hungry now, bro.
Jakey, who's next? Let's go with Jakey.
Okay, probably chickpea salad. I'm vegan.
Okay, hey, that's allowed.
Yeah, chickpea salad.
Adam.
My usual 7 eggs over medium, 5 pieces of bacon, double hash brown smothered and covered, and some toast.
All right, Michael Phelps. That's a Michael Phelps breakfast. Let's go with the Mexican fiddle player here.
Oh, is that what it said? My bad, bro.
Oh,
yeah, it's fine.
I honestly, cold spaghetti or cold pizza, baby, from the night before.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, man. Well, guys, it was good. It was good. Me?
Oh, pancakes. Yeah, Bernie, about you?
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. I'm boring, man. Everybody knows. All the people that listen to this know that I love I'm a pancake connoisseur.
That's awesome.
And fresh socks. You got to have brand new socks.
Tres leches pancakes. I've had them. Yeah. Well, guys, it was great talking to you, man. And
you too, sir. Thank you for having us.
I hope I can make it to one of your shows soon.
Come on out, man. We can't wait to meet you in person. And thanks for having us. And I hope to see you soon.
Have a great day.
Thank you for being so flexible, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
No, thank you guys, man. I'm glad you're all feeling better.
Thank you, pal.
Yeah,
all right.
All right, Bernie.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Love you, brother.
All right. Right on. Kin Faux, Rico, Jakey, Avery, Adam. Great guys, man. I really appreciate them stopping by, and look for them, man. Look out for them. Big things are happening. You could check out what they're up to at kinfaux.com, KINFAUX. There's a link to merch, there's a link to shows, and there's a link to their new single they just covered, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Check it out. If you haven't heard it like this, I guarantee you. While you're online, check out isbreakfast.com. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel, subscribe, press that notification button. We'll let you know when there's a new video coming out. Rate and review our show on Apple Podcast. And, hey, check out our store. If you're inclined, support us a little. Buy a shirt. All right, guys, I am done. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next week.